Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today guys we're going to be taking another look at Bitcoin, see what's been going on most recently and what I would expect to happen next. As I get into this video, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe. Tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you have not yet joined us in Discord, links in the description down below. Fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. If you're looking for a little bit more from the crypto space, then why not check out the Patreon services as well, link in the description down below, where we offer things like project write-ups, 2 AMAs weekly with you guys, and of course, a little bit of trading here, there as well. So why not check it out if that's your bag. Let's get into this though. So Bitcoin paired up with the USDT on the hourly chart. Binance is the data source. I want to start things off by saying that everything is still exactly as it was a few days ago, right? We're still tracking correctly to where I believe we're likely to go, but I do want to kind of just emphasize this isn't something that's going to happen instantaneously. It's not something that I'm expecting to happen today. Okay, it's something that I think is going to happen over the next few days. Okay, I think Wednesday is probably going to be a catalyst for this, if I'm being honest. Okay, everything that's going on with the Fed meeting and whatnot. So when I kind of go through these TA sessions, specifically on this hourly chart, I'm not talking about what I think is going to happen within 6 hours. I'm talking about what's probably going to happen within 48 hours. Okay, so give it a little bit more time and a little bit more patience, and you should see hopefully these kind of moves playing out. So they can be a little bit slower, they can be a little bit faster. Timing is not something that Elliott Wave is going to give you. So just look at the candles, look at the patterns, understand what is going on if you can. So let's get into this, right? We had the ABC come up higher, okay, and we had the double top up here. This is about 39,166, okay, and we're starting to track back down. Okay, so we have A, B, and C. Nothing too strange about that. But again, this is actually something that I was kind of expecting, considering it was a weekend, bank holiday weekend. We weren't going to see too much from traders kind of jumping in on anything. Now, we have got an interesting kind of move just here. We've got a couple of ways we can look at it. If we take a look at the Stochastic Rsi, we're heading up to the overbought area. So we're going to look at this as a complete breakdown from here, in my opinion. Okay, now it's possible that we still push up a little bit higher, but we've been trading sideways here. If we throw the volume back in here, one sec, let me grab that. You can see how the volume has basically just completely decreased here as we pulled back down. So I still think this is a bigger kind of move coming down here, and I wouldn't necessarily look at this entire thing as an ABC as I've just labeled it, but instead a giant A wave, this being a B wave, and we are looking to pull back down. Obviously our low ranges are 36,266 is still valid, and that is where we are aiming, so that hasn't changed. I'll go ahead and remove those volumes for now. So when we start thinking about sub-wave counts, what have we actually got going on here? Where we have a sub-wave count like this. Okay, so this makes an A giant A wave coming down here. This makes our B wave, and then we're looking for a C wave to come down. Now that C wave could be 5 waves down, it could be 3 waves down, it could be a series of complex corrections strung together. Ultimately, I think it's going to be very choppy down to this low bottom. I'm not expecting it to be a straight line coming down here, but that is also a possible scenario, but I don't think that is very probable. Okay, elsewhere, we are obviously seeing this slight move down. After this wave count, we have the A, we have the B, we'll come down into a C. Now this could also be a B wave wedge of sorts, and again, we can take a look at that as a wedge like this. Okay, we'll have that tighten up, and then we'll pull back down from here. Okay, and obviously that's just really poorly drawn, but you kind of get the idea. And I use the wicks for this because the price went to those areas on the chart. I don't use the closed positions, but both scenarios work depending on what your preference is. I prefer the wicks because the price went to that price point at some point, and therefore I think it is important that we take note of that. Okay, so I use the wicks, but you can use the closed candles and open candles if you want to as well. So as you can see, we have basically ABC, ABC up, ABC coming down. Now, I think we're probably going to get this overextended coming down. I don't think we're going to see it as a 1-to-1 ratio, but I could be wrong on that. So again, we'll open that up to change at a later date if we need to. But this would actually indicate that we'll go down to approximately $38,042. Okay, just down here, which actually would be the 382 of this entire move coming down towards our 1-to-1 ratio on our C wave. Now, as I said in yesterday's video, we've got a triple confirmation of 36,266, okay, and these based on subwaves, right? So if I zoom on out, we have a big ABC, okay, this comes down to 36,266. We have a subwave count of that C wave. It is an ABC, indicating with a 1-to-1 ratio 36,222. We then have a subwave count of that C wave, ABC, indicating the C wave on the 1-to-1 ratio at 36,266. Okay, and what we're now doing is basically trying to track what is going on right here inside this C wave. Okay, so we're in a subwave count of a subwave of a subwave of a correction. Okay, just to kind of put that out there, we are tracking a lot of different things here. I don't want to confuse people, so let's just focus in on what's going on right now. But essentially, everything is looking at 36,266, in my opinion. Now, of course, we might fall short of that. We might just overextend it, but we're going to be in that range, in my opinion, which is why I often draw these as ranges. Okay, anywhere between, as I said before, right, $36,000 and $37,500 seems to be the area that we're looking for. Now, we entered this top box, but we still got to come down a little bit lower here, in my opinion, as this is the true range of where we're looking. Okay, so as we take a look at this, we can see that we are looking to come back down here. Now, I do imagine that this is probably going to be a string of corrections in themselves, and we are going to pull back quite significantly towards this lower target here. And I say, you know, it could be relatively quickly, but I would anticipate over a couple of days. So today, Wednesday, and yeah, hopefully that will actually, Wednesday will be the catalyst for a bit of fear and then euphoria. So I think basically what will come out of that meeting with the Fed will be uncertainty to start with. That will help the decrease, and then everyone will review it and think, actually, no, that's good news, and the price will go up. Usually this is kind of how I see things over there. It's a bit weird, but basically people will like panic first. They think everything is bad, and then actually, no, it's not too bad, and buy back in. So we'll watch out to see how that plays out. You know, I could be wrong on that, and it could just go straight up. It could go straight down if it's really bad news, etc. But for me, for the most part, I think people are expecting more good news than bad news. That seems to be the sentiment on what's going on with the Fed meeting on Wednesday. But essentially, I would expect there still to be uncertainty at the beginning, a little bit of emotional reactions, and then understanding, and then, you know, actual moving of the price in the right direction, in my opinion. So that's kind of what's going on here on the smaller time frame. Right now, as always, we like to just check Glassnode data so we can understand what's going on from the actual BTC itself, right? Not price action, not price charts, but what is actually going on with the movement of coin. Okay, and here we can see that yesterday we had another 98,000 Bitcoin leave the exchanges. Okay, this is now again, you know, actually increasing quite a bit, right? Over 3.7 million BTC has left the exchanges this year alone. This has actually fluctuated a little bit, right? So in one of the previous videos I did, I said 4.14 million. That was correct at the point of recording the video. Glassnode has actually had new data come in from the exchanges, and that number has decreased ever so slightly. It's now 3.7 million Bitcoin has left the exchanges rather than the 4.14 million. Now, we, on the back of that, checked out Glassnode. We couldn't see anything wrong with Glassnode in terms of who's running them, why they're operating, have they got affiliates with exchanges, have they got affiliations with banks, and they come up relatively clean. Like, we couldn't find any reason as to why they would want to necessarily manipulate the data themselves. And this then leads me to believe that the exchanges have been adjusting their data, and obviously those APIs are then feeding into Glassnode. So the questions then become, why are the exchanges manipulating the data to obviously, you know, maybe fluff their own books? I don't know. I'm not going to get into that. There's not many exchanges on this list, right? We've been through this before. It's things like Binance, Bitfinex, Bithumb, BitMEX, Bitstamp, Bittrex, Coinbase, CoinCheck, Crypto.com, FTX, Gate.io, Gemini, HIT, BTC, 𝗕𝗂𝗋, Kraken, KuCoin, Luna, OKX, and Polynex. So there's not many exchanges there that are, you know, feeding data into Glassnode. So why those exchanges, some, maybe many, maybe none, maybe only a handful of them, were adjusting their data. But adjustments to the data has happened here, but it doesn't change the big macro picture. More BTC is leaving the exchanges than is going on, and that is a huge thing to understand. So as I said, 3.7 million BTC is over 20% of the circulating supply of BTC, and that number is only ever increasing, right? And this is a huge shrinkage on the supply. So when we take a look at the balance of Bitcoin on exchanges, we're at a multi-year low. This goes way back now to August of 2018. So if I shoot back into 2018 here, you can see that we are right down here now. Way over here, yeah, so August, early August now. So we are looking at decreasing, and if we can get you know, the balance of Bitcoin on exchanges down to the low points of 2017, then I do think there's going to be some serious run here for BTC. Now, we can obviously go a little bit further if we just bring this back up a little bit here and actually go and check out where is this Bitcoin going, right? It's leaving the exchanges. I've been through this a few times. We can see that there's a huge spike here when it comes to whales with more than 1,000 BTC in their wallets. This has increased quite a bit. A few hundred additional wallets with over 1,000 BTC. It's just quite significant. The same thing is also being seen here also for the 100 BTC wallets. They're also increasing nicely again over the last few days. We are seeing people with 100 BTC in their wallets now increasing quite dramatically. Okay, as this price pulls back down lower, the whales and the sharks are accumulating. Okay, and this is an important thing that we don't necessarily I don't think a lot of influencers are talking to you about. They're talking about, you know, closing of EMAs. They're talking about bearish scenarios of $25,000, but they're not telling you that actually whales are accumulating right now. So I'm kind of hypothesizing. I don't have any kind of data to back it up, right? I'm just tracking the movements in the charts, the price charts. I'm tracking what's going on with the Bitcoin. But to me, this feels very much like a bear trap. You're being told one thing, but in the background, you're seeing something that would actually contradict that. Okay, we are seeing Bitcoin being stacked up by whales. We're seeing Bitcoin leaving the exchanges by the hundreds of thousands, you know, over a course of a week. That is a significant shrinkage to the supply. And anyone who knows how price movement works in this space knows that it's all about supply and demand. As soon as we start to see a shrinkage on the supply and the demand kicks in, this price is moving rapidly to the upside. Likewise, if you want to drop a price down, then essentially all you need to do is flood the market with excess supply. More supply and little demand, the price will tank hard. So all of this accumulation that's leaving the exchanges right now is going to create a huge price spike, in my opinion, to the upside. But we have to be very, very cautious because all of that supply could quite easily come back onto the exchanges and flood the exchanges, crashing the price very, very hard. So it's important that we understand that at some point we are going to want to make sure that we exit out of any BTC positions before we get dumped on by those whales and institutions. So guys, I'm going to leave this video there. To summarize, we have some downward action here for BTC. We are heading towards the target of 36,266 in my opinion. That hasn't changed for the last several days, and that is still very much the case today. We are looking at more downside today and possibly early tomorrow morning. With Bitcoin and you know, the Fed and everything else that's going on Wednesday, I would expect some kind of reaction, both negatively and positively, until we understand what exactly is going on there and the market reacts accordingly. Okay, whether that is positive long term or negative long term, we will find out on Wednesday, but I do expect it to be positive, and I do think we're actually going to see the price of Bitcoin surge up quite significantly once we hit these low areas of 36, but I do think 36k is likely to happen here. To kind of summarize everything from a Glassnode perspective, Bitcoin is leaving, and it's leaving by the hundreds of thousands every single week. 3.7 million BTC leaving so far this year alone, and I think that number is going to grow continuously all the way through the summer until the autumn. I think it is the autumn when the demand's really going to kick in, and we're going to see some significant new all-time high for BTC, in my opinion. But again, I could be wrong on all of this. This is just me kind of hypothesizing what I think this data means. And yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Do you think we are going to see new all-time highs, or do you think we are going down to $25,000? I'm interested to know what your thoughts and opinions are. So let me know in the comments down below. If you found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done and out of the way, hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.